Hello.
Yeah, sorry, please, welcome back. Sorry for the break.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was saying that where were we? I wanted to do something here. Okay. I'm talking about these payments. I want us to understand the effect of payments.
Okay.
Let me assume, let's say 50,000, 50,000. What's your observation?
There's an increase
There's
in
an
the
increase.
PV.
The PV. Why? Because I've put a payment of 50,000.
50,000.
Okay.
But I was thinking the red, it won't show a negative. It won't be negative anymore.
Which one?
It will still be now.
It will still be
Okay.
negative. It will still be negative. See
Okay.
what's happening here. Now, this payment is saying that when this is zero, when this is zero, what this means is that you just deposit this amount and wait. After 10 years, you come and hash this, get this. Okay? But
Okay.
if you put a payment there, what you are saying is that each year you'll be given this amount out of what you are
5
going
million.
to. You'll be withdrawing this amount each year. Okay.
Okay.
So because you are
Okay,
going to
sir.
be withdrawing this amount each year, what it means is that what you have to deposit initially has to be higher. Can you see it's higher?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because you are going to be taking some amount out. So because of that, for you to still arrive at this figure, then you have to deposit a higher amount at the onset. Okay. When it's zero here,
Okay.
it means you don't take anything until the end of the period. Okay, so you can see where the PMT comes in. So I hope this is clear.
It's clear. What about the type that is showing there?
Yes, the type. What the type does is the type helps you to state whether it's the end of the period or the beginning of the period that the interest is applied. Okay. For example, is it at the beginning of each month or at the end? Sorry, beginning of each year or the end. Okay. So we just usually we just leave that as the default, which is zero, which is end, which is usually the case. I mean, in most cases. Okay. So even if you don't put that, it defaults to zero, which is the usual thing. So I want to believe this is clear to every one of us.
So, well, from what you said now, say that type is it's talking about the interest, whether
Yes, yeah.
or are we collecting the interest at the beginning of the period or at the end of the
Or at the
period?
end, yes. Whether the
Okay.
interest will apply at the beginning or the end.
So definitely that way, I think that will also affect
Of course.
the PV.
This is the figure.
So If we change that to 1, let's change that to 1.
Yeah, in this case, why it's not affecting now would be because, it's still the same thing. You are not
It's the same thing.
you are not collecting anything, you are not adding anything.
Okay.
You understand? So that's why. Okay. Maybe
Okay.
some other, if other, in cases where you have to take something, add something within the month, that's when it will be different. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see another. Let's go back to our slide. So that's the PV value. That's the PV. What about FV? FV is used to compute the future value of an investment based on an interest rate and a constant payment schedule by a fixed payment of a fixed amount on regular basis. Now, all these are based on the assumption that the interest rate is fixed or the amount being paid is fixed. Okay, interest rate is fixed. Okay, that's the assumption. So the syntax for FV is FV rates, number of periods, payment amount, PV type. For instance, a bank customer invests 10,000 naira in fixed deposit accounts at the rate of 6.5% per annum for 5 years. Compute the final value of the investment at the end of the period. Okay, FV can be used to do this. Okay, it's like the opposite of PV, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the opposite of PV. So I believe you already have the figures, the values there with you. If you have your system, just give it a try. So let's see here, we have PV. We have FV. So you can just pick the figures before I remove it. Okay. Hope you are seeing my slide, right?
Yeah, no.
Hmm?
We are seeing
Yeah,
your slide.
we are seeing your slide.
Okay. Okay. So what is the value of PV here?
10 million.
Thank you. Number of period is 15, 6.5%.
Payment is not given.
What?
The payment is not given.
Yeah, just like before.
Okay.
So in this case now we are looking for the future value.
Yes. Now we are looking for the future value.
It's 25 million something.
Okay, that's what you got.
Yes.
Ah, so big.
I just impute.
Okay, straight.
Yes.
Okay, so the rate is 6.5.
Yes.
I'm having 7 there. Why do you think it's 7?
The rate is 6.5.
Yes,
Why do you think my own is showing 7?
it's the computer is approximating it.
Yes.
Change, reformat it to general.
Yeah, it was approximating. Okay, equals FV. I read is 6.5 as usual. Number of payments is 15. What do you think PMT would be?
0.
0. Do we have PV?
Eh?
Yes.
Yes.
PV
PV is 10 million.
Is what?
10
PV is
million.
10 million.
10 million. Okay, you are right.
What's the
25
answer?
million.
Yes,
You can
I'm
go
right,
to your
right?
you can go to your Z.
you are
Let's
right.
see your Z.
25 million 718, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Exactly.
that's what you got, eh?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
410.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay. Somebody explain what I've done now.
You didn't add 0. You didn't add 0. That the permit. You didn't put any figure for
The
permit.
payment.
Or
The-
for payment. Sorry. The payment. You didn't
Yes,
put any
I know.
figure
I
for
want you to
payment.
look at it. I want you guys to look at what I've done. I'll try to explain. Okay, you think there's an error? What do
Not
you think?
really.
What do you
Wait,
think I have
let's-
done now? What do you think is happening now?
wait.
6.5.
Let me copy out the answer. I want you to just observe and try to see what's going on.
I'm in class.
Okay, so I just edited this now. So I want you to explain to me what's going on here.
Just like the way you explained it to us the first time. When you put the payment, if there's a figure given for payment,
Yes.
like you're adding, that's when you put your 0, you add your values. But if it's not,
I think what
that's why
you did now, you took one zero away from the present value.
1 0 away from the present value. Okay.
instead of 10 million. What is here now is 1 million.
It's 1 million.
Less 1 million.
Okay. Okay. Any other opinion? Okay, to guide us. Let me see. Let me type something here to guide you. Equals FV. So that's a guide now. So try to interpret what is going on now.
Bishop value, which is rate as NPER, over per month, number of periods.
Maybe
you should click on your answer.
Oh, the answer.
Again.
Click on your
Okay.
answer. Click on the answer.
Okay, let me click on the answer again. So what's happening here?
True.
Okay.
Just like what the other guy said, you didn't
Okay,
add
I've
the-
seen.
You have seen it. Okay, wait. Let me make it easier. Let me copy.
I think I've seen. Okay.
You've seen it. Let me copy the formula to this worksheet so you can see it side by
It's
side.
like you put a space.
Just hold on. Let me put something to guide you. That's the formula.
Hmm.
Okay, so you have the guide there now.
C level, N period, C30. Oh, C12.
Okay, don't worry.
Okay. Do we
I
need to
think-
divide by? Do we need to divide by
No.
12?
No. Okay. Let me tell you.
Is it the spacing? Is the spacing? You
It's not-
space. You put a comma. You put a comma at the end of instead of the bracket before the bracket.
Okay, no, it's not the spacing.
Okay, you didn't use your number of periods.
No.
No, you did. No,
Okay,
that's 6 to
wait.
that's C12.
Let me show you something interesting.
Present value.
Can you see what I've done? I put 0 here. Yeah? And the answer didn't.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Okay, no problem. Let's look at it.
Okay.
Let's look at it together.
Present value.
Okay. Before we look at it together, let me show you something interesting. Let me put this here. Can you see that? Can you see the massive increase?
Yes. Yes.
Now, let's interpret this one first. After interpreting this one, then we'll go back to what I asked you before, then to make more sense. Do you know what this is saying? This is saying that now you are trying to get a future value given this rate of 6.5%, given that there are 15 periods, okay? And that this, no, let me skip this. Let me skip PNT first. I'll come back to it. And that the present value is 10 million. Okay. Now, you first of all deposit a lump sum, pay the lump sum of 10 million. In addition to that, each year you are adding 1 million. That's the PMT. That's what this is saying now. You get?
Yes.
That's the rate.
Yeah.
That's the number of periods. This is what you are paying every month plus the initial lump sum of 10 million
10 million.
at the beginning. That's why you see it's now so big, much bigger than what we got before. Do you understand? So now, by stopping here, it means we are not using this at all. There was no initial lump sum value deposited. All you are just doing is each year you are dropping 1 million. That's the PMT.
Okay.
There's no PV in this case. In this case, there's no PV, no PV. All you are specifying is NPER, rates, number of periods, payment. No
So in this case,
initial. So in this case, PV is 0 because I didn't specify it, so it's 0.
so what is the basis of using that future value formula?
If we are not referencing the present value.
If we are not referencing the present value. Yeah, the essence is this. Now, there are different ways that people make investments. Okay, take for instance, pension contribution.
Okay.
In pension contribution, the employee, the worker does not pay one huge amount at the beginning. It's every month when the salary is paid, they take something from the salary and deposit there. Next month again, they take something from the salary and deposit. So all those small deposits, those are PMT. Those are not PV. So for that person, for that worker, his PV is 0. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yes, his PV is 0. So what he has is PMT. It's only PMT he has. At the end of the month, they deposit. They just put a small payment there. No initial lump sum at the start.
Okay. No, it makes sense.
Yeah, thank you. So this PV talks about the lump sum that was put there at the beginning.
Yeah.
Before the periodical payment is added. So there are some cases where a lump sum is put there, then at the end of each period, you also add something. There are cases where you don't have anything you don't add anything every month, but in the beginning you just put your lump sum. That will take this form. In that case, PMT will be 0. Then PV will be a value, usually a big value. So for those monthly contribution without initial lump sum, PV will be 0. PMT will have a value, whatever value.
Okay.
Hope it's clear to everyone.
Okay. Okay.
Like sometimes
like mutual funds.
Like mutual funds. That's how it works now. It's PMT, just monthly payments. Monthly payments. Okay, for you to know. Let's say somebody register for mutual funds. Somebody's enlisted on September. Okay, September is just starting now. Okay, let's say, yes, this September 1st. The account will be empty until end of the month when they pay that staff salary. Okay, so since at the beginning nothing was deposited, his PMT is 0. So the first amount will come in at the end of the month when a deduction is made from his salary. That's PMT. That's not PV. His PV is 0 because he didn't deposit anything at the start.
Or if you go into the mutual fund with an initial investment,
then that initial investment would be your PV.
PV.
Yes. Then whatever you are adding periodically is your PMT.
On PMT. Okay.
Yes. In such a case, of course, you expect your final amount to be bigger than the one that didn't have any initial starting investment. I hope we are all on the same page. Are we all there? Are we all following? I'm just tweaking, bringing in all these things so that we see the different sides to it. Because there are different scenarios. There are cases where people just deposit a lump sum and go and rest. They don't do anything again until the end of the period they come for their final, the final money amount. But there are cases where people do their own gradually, small. So
There are some investment,
mm,
more like mutual funds, where your PMT
mm,
is added to your PV on
okay.
a daily or weekly basis.
Your PMT is added to your what?
It's kind of like a compound something.
Okay. On daily basis.
Yes, on daily basis, your
Oh,
PMT.
okay. Yes. There are some like that these days. Yes. Those ones we have special software that does that computation.
No, not even PMTs. Not even PMTs. That is your interest
Interest.
amount. Yes.
I understand.
Interest amount is added to your PV on
Yes.
daily basis.
Daily basis. Yes, that's very
It
common these days. That's true.
becomes a new PV. Then interest is
Yes.
interest on
Yeah. It's compounded like that. Yes, that's correct. That's right. Yes. Yeah, that's very common these days. But this is not based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones, they developers are contacted to develop the software. There are already software out there.
Yeah.
Financial, special purpose financial software that handle those things. Okay. But I hope we all understand this. So I've not gotten much response.
Yes. For me, it's
Okay.
understood.
Okay. What else can I say there? Ige, Charles, are we on the same page?
Well, so far, where I started from, so far, I get it.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Charles, are we on the same page?
My network is breaking. I didn't really get it. No.
Okay. Where did you stop? Where did you disconnect from?
At that point where you were trying to explain why the p-value is not giving stuff like that, or you didn't use the p-value, or p-value does not have an effect.
Yeah. So I was trying to explain that there are different scenarios, right? There are cases where it's a gradual payment. I gave an example of pensions, where people make their payments, every month gradually, and there's no initial huge deposit. So in such a case, I said the PV will be 0. That's the same as not specifying it at all.
So
Okay. That was the test I was trying to give you earlier. Okay. So I just did it like this. When I did, please let's mute. When I did this earlier, that was what I was trying to test. Now, let me explain
Okay.
something. Yeah, let me explain something. See, when you have Excel guides you, the moment you type equals FV, it will tell you, guide you, right? Now, there's
Yes.
something you should realize here. Wherever you have square bracket, it shows that that item is optional.
Oh.
It's optional.
Oh.
So
Oh.
if I enter 3 items, okay, what it means is that it refers to the first 3.
Yeah.
The first 3, which is rates and per payment. That's what it is. So if I do this, that's what I'm actually invariably saying. I just specify the rates, the number of periods, and PMT, which means I didn't specify any other thing.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's the same thing as saying that PV is 0.
Yes.
It's the same, whether I do it like this or like this, to give me exactly the same thing.
Yes.
Then if I now add the PV, the PV we had before, then the final amount should be expected to be much larger. Why? Because there are now 2 investments. There's the initial investment, which is the PV, plus the periodical one that is added annually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we expect the final returns to be much bigger. That's why you see this is 49, while the initial, the one we got before was 24.
24.
Okay, that's what's.
Was that what 24 or 25?
What? This
25
one.
go to.
Is it 25?
It's 25
It's
go to.
25.
Which one brought this 24? Okay. Yeah, it was 25. It was when I did the other one that brought this 24. This 25, you're right. Because you had 0 here.
Yes.
It was like this, yes.
Yes.
This 24 is when we set the PV to 0.
Yeah.
And made the PMT 1 million. That was what gave us this one. So are we on the same page now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. Let's go back to our slide again. Okay. Now the purpose of going back to the slide is for us to talk about the principles instead of just jumping to a calculation. Okay. So now, PMT. What did you say PMT is?
Payment.
Payment.
Okay, what does that mean? What's payment? What sort of payment?
That's the
A down
Amount
payment.
paid.
the periodic amount
Amount paid.
paid.
Okay, thank you. Okay, PMT is used to calculate the payment, i.e. amount paid for a loan based on constant payments and a constant interest rate. Okay. If you look at this closely now, you can see that PV is compulsory. Because when somebody takes a loan, there's always a PV. What is the PV?
Present value.
Yeah, what is it? What does it represent in this scenario?
15 million.
15 million.
Yes, that's the amount of the loan taken. That's the PV. Okay. So there has to be a PV in this kind of situation, right? So let's say somebody takes a loan. How and okay, the loan, the rate is given, the number of payments, the number of periods is given, PV is given, the value of the loan is given. Now, how much should this person be paying per time, per period, to enable the person clear up that loan within the given number of periods. That's what this PMT is about. So can we give it a try? So just try it on your end. Can we?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, is the number of periods given here?
No, it's not given.
No,
Oh,
it's not.
it has to be given.
It's not.
Okay, sorry for that. Okay, let me just say, I edit it. For example, Mr. Joe has decided to obtain a loan to buy a house, which caused that the bank offers to give him a loan at an annual interest rate of that. PMT can be used to compute the monthly installments you needs to pay in order to pay back the loan in a stipulated period of time. That stipulated period of time, what period do you guys want us to use? Can you suggest which is, let me just say which is
48 months.
48 months.
Yes.
Okay. Eight. Okay. So let's go ahead with that.
I'm seeing 2 million.
You've gotten it?
Got 2 million. I don't know if it's correct.
30 million.
No,
Okay. No,
2.6.
don't say your answer yet. Let others finish.
All right.
$20 million. So 17%. That period is say 48 months.